Today I'm going to talk a little bit about the Hill-free crosses and what it means to the people of Lithuania. The crosses stand as a monument to rebellion. The crosses have gone up and down through multiple times in history. The most recent time that it was taken down was due to the Soviet oppression. They were raised again during the time of independence, and the crosses have a very strong sense of importance in terms of the national identity.
All right, so right now I'm standing by the original crosses that were put up in 1916. Most of the sources that we found in this tell us that this was placed here to commemorate to commemorate the history of the crosses. At the bottom of the hill, you can see 1916, 1950, 1989, which was the date that these first original crosses were put up, the date that they were torn down, and then the date that the new crosses were put up.
Being a Christian during the Soviet period was difficult. Non-Christians were treated like second-class citizens. They were not allowed to attend university or have high-ranking government positions. Their children could be taken away by the government and put into state-run orphanages. Christians were constantly being monitored by the KGB. The KGB had spies within the church and recruited religious authority to become spies or implanted government officials as religious authority.
A person who really exemplifies this would be Bishop Borishevich, who was the Archbishop of Vilnius during the time of Soviet occupation. He was contacted by the Soviet authorities and asked to basically be a spy and help work within the church to reveal the secrets of people and make it easier for infiltration of the Catholic Church, which for Vilnius and for Lithuania in general is very important and is almost entirely tied to and connected to the culture. He refused, and for it he was killed.
Those who did not comply were often deported. Many priests were deported to Siberia during the Soviet Union. One priest who was deported to the Soviet Union was Father Alphonsus Svarinkis. He was deported 3 times and spent a total of 22 years in Siberia. He was arrested in a very dishonest way. He was discussing a funeral of a man who had died in a traffic accident when the traffic police summoned him. He thought he would be returning to the church, but instead he was arrested and put into isolation before being sentenced to 7 years in Siberia and 3 years probation. Father Alphonsus Svarinkis continued to practice his faith while in Siberia. He was a physician and a priest. Even when he was in isolation during holidays, he continued to listen to confessions through the pipes of the toilets, which were connected.
The church and the faith itself has always been a very important actor and component of the Lithuanian identity and Lithuanian resistance against Soviet oppression.